Hello and namaste, beautiful you. Hope everybody's doing great out there and having great time with your friends, families, and with yourself. Okay, so today, people, I brought this video. This video gonna be more than video. It's gonna be audio for you because it's something that will help you fall asleep. Okay, so do you have this kind of problem like trouble getting asleep? You know, you try to sleep, you turn this side and that side, and wake up and do things again, try to sleep, and you can't fall asleep. You have these nights, right? I too have. Everyone has. You know, sometimes you overthink, sometimes you have pressure of different things, work, family, girlfriend, boyfriend. So, things make you awake. Awake, people, awake. But this one is here to help you fall asleep. A good night one. Okay? So, what I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna read a book for you. Yes. Because I can't sing a song for you as a father or, act like a father or a mom, but what I can do is read a book for you and make you fall asleep. Yes, you heard me correct. Make you fall asleep. So this will help you fall asleep quick and very sound sleep. So please do listen. You can keep your phone aside your pillow, to the right, to the left, on top, anywhere you want. So just place it and play it. I will read a book for you and make you fall asleep. Hope this will help. Okay? Good night.
This is a diary of a young girl. Sunday, 14th June 1942. On Friday, June 12th, I woke up at 6 o'clock and no wonder. It was my birthday. But of course, I was not allowed to get up at that hour, so I had to control my curiosity until 6:45. Then I could bear it no longer and went to the dining room, where I received a warm welcome from Mortez, the cat. Soon after 7, I went to Mommy and Daddy, and then to the sitting room to undo my presents. The first to greet me was you, possibly the nicest of all. Then on the table there was a bunch of roses, a plant, and some peonies, and more arrived during the day. I got masses of things from Mommy and Daddy, and was thoroughly spoiled by various friends. Among other things, I was given camera obscura, a party game, lots of sweets, chocolates, a puzzle, a bruise, Tales and Legends of the Netherlands by Joseph Cohen, Daisy's Mountain Holiday, a terrific book, and some money. Now I can buy the meats of Greece and Rome. Grand. Then Liz called for me and we went to school. During recess, I treated everyone to sweet biscuits and then we had to go back to our lessons. Now I must stop. Bye bye, we're going to be great pals. Monday, 15th June 1942. I had my birthday party on Sunday afternoon. We saw a film, The Lighthouse Keeper with Rin Tin Tin, which my school friends thoroughly enjoyed. We had a lovely time. There were lots of girls and boys. Mommy always wants to know whom I am going to marry. Little does she guess that it's Peter Wessel. One day I managed, without blushing or flickering any eyelid, to get that idea right out of her mind. For years, Lige Gossens and Sanne Houtman have been my best friends. Since then, I have got to know Sophie de Waal at the Jewish secondary school. We are together a lot and she is now my best friend. Lige is more friendly with another girl and Sanne goes to a different school where she has made new friends. Saturday. 20th June 1942. I haven't written for a few days because I wanted first of all to think about my diary. It's an odd idea for someone like me to keep a diary. Now only because I have never done so before, but because it seems to me that neither I, nor for matter anyone else, will be interested in the unbobsomings of the 13-year-old schoolgirl. Still, what does that matter? I want to write. But more than that, I want to bring out all kinds of things that lie buried deep in my heart. There is a saying that paper is more patient than man. It came back to me on one of my slightly melancholy days while I sat chin in hand, feeling too bored and limp even to make up my mind whether to go out or stay at home. Yes, there is no doubt that paper is patient, and as I don't intend to sew this cardboard covered notebook bearing the proud name of diary to anyone unless I find a real friend, boy or girl, probably nobody cares. And now I come to the root of the matter, the reason for my starting a diary. It is that I have no such real friend. Let me put it more clearly. Since no one will believe that a girl of 13 feels herself quite alone in the world, nor is it so. I have darling parents and a sister of 16. I know about 30 people whom one might call friends. I have strings of boyfriends anxious to catch a glimpse of me and who, failing that, peep at me through mirrors in class. I have relations, aunts and uncles who are darlings too. A good home, no? I don't seem to lack anything. But it's the same thing with all my friends, just fun and joking, nothing more. I can never bring myself to talk of anything outside the common round. We don't seem to be able to get any closer. That is the root of the trouble. Perhaps I lack confidence, but anyway, there it is, a stubborn fact, and I don't seem to be able to do anything about it. Hence this diary, in order to enhance in my mind's eye the picture of the friend for whom I have waited so long. I don't want to set down a series of bald facts in a diary like most people do. But I want this diary itself to be my friend, and I shall call my friend Kitty. No one will grasp what I am talking about if I begin my letters to Kitty just out of the blue. So, albeit unwillingly, I will start by sketching in brief the story of my life. My father was 36 when he married my mother, who was then 25. My sister Margot was born in 1926 in Frankfurt of Main. I followed on June 12, 1929, and as we are Jewish, we emigrated to Holland in 1933, where my father was appointed managing director of Travis and V. This firm is in close relationship with the firm of Colin and Co., in the same building of which my father is a partner. The rest of our family, however, felt the full impact of Hitler's anti-Jewish laws, so life was filled with anxiety. In 1938, after the pogroms, my two uncles, my mother's brothers, escaped to the USA. My old grandmother came to us. She was then 73. After May 1940, good times rapidly fled. Just the war, then the capitulation, followed by the arrival of the Germans, which is when the sufferings of us Jews really began. Anti-Jewish decrees followed each other in quick succession. Jews must wear a yellow star, Jews must hand in their bicycles, Jews are banned from trams and are forbidden to drive, Jews are only allowed to do their shopping between 3 and 5 o'clock and then only in shops which bear the placard Jewish shop. Jews must be indoors by 8 o'clock and cannot even sit in their own gardens after that hour. Jews are forbidden to visit theaters, cinemas, and other places of entertainment. Jews may not take part in public sports, swimming baths, tennis courts, hockey fields, and other sports grounds are all prohibited to them. Jews may not visit Christians. Jews must go to Jewish schools, and many more restrictions of a similar kind. So we could not do this and were forbidden to do that. But life went on in spite of it all. Hopi used to say to me, "You are scared to do anything because it may be forbidden." Our freedom was strictly limited, yet things were still bearable. Granny died in January 1942. No one will ever know how much she is present in my thoughts and how much I love her still. In 1934, I went to school at the Montessori kindergarten and continued there. It was at the end of the school year. I was in Form 6B. When I had to say goodbye to Miss K, we both wept. It was very sad. In 1941, I went with my sister Margaret to the Jewish secondary school. She into the fourth form and I into the first. So far, everything is all right with the four of us, and here I come to the present day. Saturday, 20th June 1942. Dear Kitty, I will start straight away. It is so peaceful at the moment. Mommy and Daddy are out and Margaret has gone to play ping pong with some friends. I have been playing ping pong a lot myself lately. We ping pongers are very partial to an ice cream, especially in summer when one gets warm at the game, so we usually finish up with a visit to the nearest ice cream shop. Delphi or Oasis, where Jews are allowed. We have given up scrounging for extra pocket money. Oasis is usually full, and among our large circle of friends, we always manage to find some kind-hearted gentleman or boyfriend who presents us with more ice cream than we could devour in a week. I expect you will be rather surprised at the fact that I should talk of boyfriends at my age. Alas, one simply can't seem to avoid it at our school. As soon as a boy asks if he may bicycle home with me and we get into conversation, 9 out of 10 times I can be sure that he will fall head over heels in love immediately and simply won't allow me out of his sight. After a while it cools down, of course, especially as I take little notice of ardent looks and pedal blithely on. If it gets so far that they begin about asking father, I swerve slightly on my bicycle. My stessel falls. The young man is bound to get off and hand it to me, by which time I have introduced a new topic of conversation. These are the most innocent types. You get some who blow kisses or try to get hold of your arm, but then they are definitely knocking at the wrong door. I get off my bicycle and refuse to go further in their company, or I pretend to be insulted and tell them in no uncertain terms to clear off. Dear, the foundation of our friendship is laid. Till tomorrow. Sunday, 21st June 1942. Dear Kitty, our whole Class B is trembling. The reason is that the teachers' meeting is to be held soon. There is much speculation as to who will move up and who will stay put. Map de Jong and I are highly amused at Wim and Jacques, the two boys behind us. They won't have a florin left for the holidays. It will all be gone on betting. You'll move up. Sant. Shall. From morning till night. Even Map pleads for silence, and my angry outburst don't calm them. According to me, a quarter of the class should stay where they are. There are some absolute cuckoos, but teachers are the greatest freaks on earth. So perhaps they will be freakish in the right way for once. I'm not afraid about my girl friends and myself. We'll squeeze through somehow, though I'm not too certain about my math. Still we can, but wait patiently. Till then, we cheer each other along. I get along quite well with all my teachers, 9 in all, 7 masters and 2 mistresses. Mr. Captor, the old math master, was very annoyed with me for a long time because I chatter so much. I had to write a composition with a chatterbox as the subject. A chatterbox? Whatever could one write? However, deciding I would puzzle that out later, I wrote it in my notebook and tried to keep quiet. That evening, when I had finished my other homework, my eyes fell on the title in my notebook. I pondered while chewing the end of my fountain pen. That anyone can scribble some nonsense in large letter with the words well spaced, but the difficulty was to prove beyond doubt the necessity of talking. I thought, and then, suddenly having an idea, filled my 3 allotted sides and felt completely satisfied. My arguments were that talking is a feminine characteristic and that I would do my best to keep it under control. But I should never be cured, for my mother talked as much as I, probably more, and what can one do about inherited qualities? Mr. Captor had to laugh to my arguments, but when I continued to hold forth in the next lesson, another composition followed. This time it was Incurable Chatterbox. I handed this in and Captor made me no complaints for 2 whole lessons, but in the 3rd lesson it was too much for him again. And as punishment for talking, we'll do a composition entitled "Quack, quack, quack," says Mr. Natterbeck. Shouts of laughter from the class. I had to laugh too, although I felt that my inventiveness on this subject was exhausted. I had to think of something else, something entirely original. I was in luck, as my friend Sane writes good poetry and offered to help by doing the whole composition in verse. I jumped for joy. Captor wanted to make a fool of me with this absurd theme. I would get my own back and make him the laughing stock of the whole class. The poem was finished and was perfect. It was about a mother duck and a father swan who had 3 baby ducklings. The baby ducklings were beaten to death by father because they chattered too much. Luckily, Captor saw the joke. He read the poem out loud to the class with comments and also to various other classes. Since then, I am allowed to talk, never get extra work. In fact, Captor always jokes about it. Wednesday, 24th June 1942. Dear Kitty, it is boiling hot. We are all positively melting, and in this heat I have to walk everywhere. Now I can fully appreciate how nice a tram is, but that is a forbidden luxury for Jews. Sank's mare is good enough for us. I had to visit the dentist in the Jan Luxkentrat in the lunch hour yesterday. It is a long way from our school in the Stradstimeterum. I nearly fell asleep in school that afternoon. Luckily, the dentist assist was very kind and gave me a drink. She is a good sort. We are allowed on the ferry, and that is about all. There is a little boat from the Joseph Israel Cat. The man there took us at once when we asked him. It is not the dot people's fault that we are having such a miserable time. I do wish I didn't have to go to school, as my bicycle was stolen in the Easter holidays, and Daddy has given mummies to a Christian family for safekeeping. But thank goodness the holidays are nearly here. One more week and the agony is over. And the agony is over. Something amusing happened yesterday. I was passing the bicycle sheds when someone called out to me. I looked around and there was the nice looking boy I met on the previous evening at my girlfriend Ava's home. He came slyly towards me and introduced himself as Harry Goldberg. I was rather surprised and wondered what he wanted, but I didn't have to wait long. He asked if I would allow him to accompany me to school. As you're going my way in any case, I will, I replied, and so we went together. Harry is 16 and can tell all kinds of amusing stories. He was waiting for me again this morning, and I expect he will from now on. Tuesday, 30th June 1942. Dear Kitty, I have not had a moment to write to you until today. I was with friends all day on Thursday. On Friday we had visitors, and so it went on until today. Harry and I have got to know each other well in a week, and he has told me a lot about his life. He came to Holland alone and is living with his grandparents. His parents are in Belgium. Harry had a girlfriend called Fanny. I know her too, a very soft, dull creature. Now that he has met me, he realizes that he was just daydreaming in Fanny's presence. I seem to act as a stimulant to keep him awake. You see, we all have our uses, and queer ones too at times. Sophie slept here on Saturday night, but she went to Liza on Sunday, and I was bored stiff. Harry was to have come in the evening. Harry was to have come in the evening, but he rang up at 6 p.m. I went to the telephone. He said, Harry Goldberg here. Please may I speak to Anna? Yes, Harry, Anna is speaking. Hello, Anna. How are you? Very well, thank you. I'm terribly sorry I can't come this evening, but I would like to just speak to you. Is it all right if I come in the 10 minutes? Yes, that's fine. Good boy. Goodbye. I will be with you soon. Receiver down. I quickly changed into another frock and smartened up my hair a bit. Then I stood nervously at the window watching for him. At last I saw him coming. It was a wonder I didn't dash down at once. Instead, I waited patiently until he rang. Then I went down and he positively burst in. When I opened the door, Anna, my grandmother thinks you are too young to go out regularly with me, and that I should go to the Lures. But perhaps you know I am not going out with Fanny any more. No, why is that? Have you quarreled? No, not at all. I told Fanny that we didn't get on well together, so it was better for us not to go out together any more. But she was always welcome in our home, and I hope I should be in hers. You see, I thought Fanny had been going out with another boy and treated her accordingly, but that was quite untrue. And now my uncle says I should apologize to Fanny. But of course I didn't want to do that, so I finished the whole affair. That was just one of the many reasons my grandmother would rather I went with Fanny than you. But I shan't. Old people have such terribly old-fashioned ideas at times. But I just can't fall into line. I need my grandparents, but in a sense, they need me too. From now on, I shall be free on Wednesday evenings. Officially, I go to wood carving lessons to please my grandparents. In actual fact, I go to a meeting of the Zionist movement. I'm not supposed to, because my grandparents are very much against the Zionists. I am by no means a fanatic, but I have a leaning that way and find it interesting. But lately it has become such a mess there that I'm going to quit. So next Wednesday will be my last time. Then I shall be able to see you on Wednesday evening. Saturday afternoon, Sunday afternoon, and perhaps more. But your grandparents are against it. You can't do it. Behind their backs. Love finds a way. Then we passed the bookshop on the corner, and there stood Peter Whistle with two other boys. He said, "Hello." It's the first time he has spoken to me for ages. I was really pleased. Harry and I walked on, and the end of it all was that I should meet him at 5 minutes to 7 in the front of his house next evening. Okay, so this was it for today. So, are you sleeping already? I hope you fall asleep. If not, you can play this again, once again, and try to fall asleep again. Okay? So, good night and fall asleep. Next one, I will start from Friday, 3rd July 1942. So, for next time, please listen to the part 2, the continuity of this part. Okay? Next part, it's gonna be interesting because Anna and Harry, perhaps they will be dating. Who knows? Okay? So, you just fall asleep. No worries. No need to think too much. Just be yourself, with yourself. Close your eyes. Deep breath. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. And that's how you're gonna fall asleep. Okay. So, I'll see you in second part. Okay? Time to sleep. You have a nice day tomorrow, and